Hello, hello. We'll be starting here very shortly. Hey, Doug. You too? You too what? Just grabbing a beverage and then we'll get going. That's not good. I can't actually like look at them yet, but that's not good. Spoiler alert. Ah! I will catch you up in a second. No, I'm still here. Can you not hear me? You should be able to hear me. No? Am I? I don't know. Can you guys not hear my stream at all? Oh, okay, cool. Master Commander? God damn it. Twitch? One sec. It says Task Force Admiral when I'm looking at it. Twitch notifications be funny. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to grab a real quick drink and then we'll get started. I'm just giving folks a few minutes to show up and then we'll immediately get going here. So I'll catch you guys up once we start. Just one moment. You are here. You are heard. You are loved. You matter. Thank you, Doug. And thank you for the bits, Demad. Do I think the game will be better? Better than what? Better than it is right now? I imagine the game will be pretty close to what it is right now, because according to what I've seen, they're targeting late January, so a few weeks. I don't imagine there will be any dramatic changes between now and then. I think it's pretty good so far. I mean, I've only played a couple of hours, so we'll see how the other scenarios play. I hope, and maybe I'll save this for like, I'm going to start the VOD here in like a second, so we'll just... Hey, Hauser. Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Task Force Admiral, the demo of this game, which is, according to the developer, what they've announced so far, they're targeting a late January release for this game, so only a few weeks away. We'll see if that... One sec. Steam, you're supposed to think I'm not here. Oh, great. One thing I don't like is the mouse cursor, like, seems mirrored to this game. I can't, like, Alt-Tab out of it. I don't understand. All right, whatever. I don't care. Some folks on Steam may show up. Let's try that again, shall we? Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Task Force Admiral, the demo, a upcoming release that is slated for a late January release, so in theory, just a few weeks away. You know, that's what they're targeting, we'll see. This is the playthrough that we streamed the other day, playing the Coral Sea scenario with a surprise guest, which is the Kaga. In the first stream, or if you watched on YouTube the first two videos, we attacked the first Japanese task force that we spotted, which included two carriers, the Shokaku and Tsuikaku, the sort of the super carriers. I don't know, the ones that seem to be their best designs of their early war carriers. They weren't like cramped in converted ships. I believe they were carriers from the start. At the very least, they didn't suffer from a lot of the problems that their other carriers did. Although Hauser in the chat may tell me I'm wrong. But in any event, we attacked them. We put 2 or 3 bombs in each. I don't know if their flight operations are still occurring, but they did send a few waves out to hit us. We were able to scramble our fighters and devastate their attackers without any real meaningful assault on our carrier group, which includes the Yorktown and the Lexington. We took no damage. The enemy at least has 3 or 4 bombs in each of their carriers. And so I say we're ahead. The problem is that the Kaga, which is sort of the surprise guest in this more difficult scenario, has not been spotted yet. And I just got a radar contact, literally now, of 20 plus enemy aircraft heading in. I suppose they could be coming from Rabaul. Pretty sure those are carrier based, so they're probably out this way somewhere. Which is a problem, because while we have suffered no damage as of yet, our carrier air wings are not in great shape. If we go to the fleet information tab here, you'll see we have 67 aircraft left, which we lost about 50. That's 17 fighters, 40 dive bombers, and 10 torpedo bombers. Now, the 40 dive bombers, they can pack a punch. They can do damage. The 17 fighters is going to be the problem. I'm assuming the Kaga's fighter wing is undamaged, so 20 plus zeros there. It depends on if the Shokaku and Tsuikaku's air wings are still operational, on whether that is sufficient to hold them at bay. We didn't see a lot of dog fighting per se. We did tear apart a few poorly escorted enemy air attacks. However, we didn't go at it without loss. If we actually take a look here and we go to the, let's ignore this. Let's go to the squadrons tab. If we click on the fighter squadron here, what is it, VF-42 on the Yorktown, we've got 5 aircraft left. We have lost 5 aircraft. Remember, we started low on fighters, but we've lost half of our starting strength. We did claim 28 air combat kills. I do not believe those numbers at all. Those are massively inflated for sure. I'm a little curious though, because it says we lost 5 aircraft and we've got 5 remaining. But it says we have 14 day sorties. Oh, I think some of those were cap we recalled and then scrambled out. So maybe some of those aircraft flew twice. In any event, we only got 5 fighters to scramble there. The Lexington's in a little better shape. We've got 12 fighter aircraft there. They also claimed 35 combat kills. We did devastate 2 enemy air attacks. We probably shot down over 30 enemy aircraft total. But we lost 3 of them as well. So we're down to 17 fighters. We got enemy fighters inbound, and our decks aren't totally clear. I don't know what we can scramble. I don't know who's really ready for. I guess this says available 12, so maybe they already refueled the fighters and they're good to go. Feels like it would be a tough day for these aircrew to like keep getting sent up, however. Meanwhile, in terms of counterpunching, the Lexington not in great shape. 8 dive bombers left, 1 torpedo bomber. She's pretty badly depleted. The VS-5 and VB-5, the Yorktown's bomber groups got through with much less damage. You can see these guys, this first squadron, the VB-5, they didn't even lose an aircraft. They flew 17 sorties, but they got no hits. So yeah, they were part of that second wave that went in. Same for VS5, who I think they claimed 0 bomb, but we know they hit at least 1 bomb on that second. We watched it. They also claimed no losses. The Lexington, who went in and did most of the early damage, these guys lost. They also claimed 6. I don't believe any of their tail gunners shot down 6 enemy aircraft, but they lost 11 aircraft in VB2. They lost 14 aircraft in VS2. So the Lexington's air groups are the ones who suffered on the bombing side, less so on the fighting side. Yeah. I didn't mean capacity in terms of air wings, Hauser. Maybe I misspoke with the super carriers. I just meant they seem to be the best designed carriers. Cause like some of the, like the Hiryu, right? She was like dramatically undersized for the air wing that they crammed on her. But yeah. The SPDs have 2 forward firing. I'm not saying it's impossible they shot enemy aircraft down. I just don't believe that every single dive bomber group shot down 6 enemy aircraft in that ship. Anyway, so we have a problem. We have enemy fighters, or not fighters. We have enemy aircraft inbound, 90 nautical miles out. I suppose if we really do have, Yorktown is also in the middle of recovering, doing some air recovery of our patrol craft. You can see here we've got one of these guys is still, everything's paused right now. One of these guys is still on the deck. We've got like 4 or 5 more aircraft that are going to be coming down soon. In that vein, I suppose we try to scramble Lexington's air crew first if it lets me. I mean, I'm assuming those aircraft aren't friendly, so it looks like it's going to take us, I don't know, 20 minutes to get everybody up, or maybe that's less. Maybe it's 12 minutes. So we'll see. We'll try and get them. We'll try and get those boys off. We'll unpause. I'm assuming we'll unpause. There we go. All right. So things are underway. The only thing left. Oh. Airborne are my dive bombers who are coming back. I don't know why it says these guys are on deck. They're not. Scrambles in queue. What am I drinking? I'm having a strawberry banana body armor. You know, yummy. It's like 1:30, so I don't, nothing stronger than that right now. Okay. They're not spotting. It says they're in queue. In queue for what? Do we have to get this done first? No, this is scramble. Oh, that'll start in 1 minute. Okay. All right. Yorktown is still recovering aircraft. You can see here that guy is going down. Looks like we've got another torpedo bomber maybe about to land. Maybe we can watch one of these guys come in. He's way up there. He can't be the only guy still airborne. I see more aircraft than that. Where are these guys going to? They already get up? I feel like there's more aircraft airborne than I've seen. I'm very confused. Are these aircraft not yet? What are these aircraft up here? What is going on? All right, they're spotting these guys. Pause for a sec. What is this? These are all Devastators. This does not make sense. Is this some kind of glitch? don't have this many of these guys left. I don't think. Where are they going? I'm very confused. In any event, Taylor's about to land. His gears are down. His gear's down. This is all TF-17. I don't have any other guys out. I don't think so. I think all the other scout planes have landed. I think all the other raids have landed, unless maybe they didn't. I don't know. Not sure. In any event, this guy's coming around. That's not the landing pattern I'd be following, but I guess you're slower, so maybe you can take a shallower approach. They're spotting the fighters on the Yorktown right now. At least the aircraft with the unfouled deck is the one with most of the fighters. We'll scramble the Lexingtons eventually as well, but they have a lot fewer fighters. They've only got 4 on her, so those will just be sort of a last desperate crash. You've got the tail hook down, the gear down. Would I try a surface engagement? Maybe, if I can get them there. I don't know what the trigger is for the scenario to end. I suppose we could try and close with the enemy task force with a surface engagement. I wonder if planes can crash on landing or other things like that, or if it's like, if it doesn't model damage like that. I've noticed all the aircraft so far lost have been destroyed before they got back to the carrier. Well, he caught the first wire there. That was a little low. This guy's circling. Looks like his tail hook's down. Did he just put that down, or was that always down? I don't know. It just seems like there's more aircraft up. I've got 2 more back out this way, but I don't know where they're, unless they're from a previous raid and it just got rid of them here. There are a lot of menus. Someone did comment like, doesn't it seem like this is a little grognardy of a menu system? And it's like, yeah. Is that a bad thing? I just love looking at these ships move. You've not heard the word grognardy in a while? Wow. I don't know what to say to that. Okay. Now this could be the fighters scrambling, but I don't think so. I think we're spotting the fighters right now. All right. Those are Dauntlesses on the back. But you can see they're spotting the fighters here, so they're getting the fighters up. How much longer do we have till the enemy arrives? Radar detected them at 90 nautical miles. I still don't know who these aircraft are. Unless they're the previous raid and they're just not on the order of battle for the air list anymore. I'm not sure why that would be the case, but it does show if we go to Lexington, it does show that they're in recovery ops at least another 5 minutes. Oh wait, Lexington's launching. Sorry, Yorktown. So I don't know. I wonder if they always catch the first wire. Maybe it really is the first air raid. Well, one way to find out, we could speed things up a bit. There's definitely more aircraft. Yeah, okay. So it must be that first raid. They just, for whatever reason, aren't on the roster over here. Is there any chance that means we have more aircraft on this fleet screen than I originally thought? Any chance? Does not look like it. All right, Yorktown is getting her boys ready to scramble. Apparently also still recovering aircraft from those prior raids. Sorry, I keep confusing Yorktown and Lexington. Do they have to do this? Move the aircraft forward so they can use the elevator to get the aircraft up? Because that seems to slow the process down. Does that mean they won't actually take off for a while still? It would seem so. All right. So this is Lexington. If Yorktown is truly free, if her deck is truly free, we'll try and scramble her too, although it doesn't look free to me, but... certainly looks like she's still recovering aircraft. Enemy snooper, vector 30 miles, Angel 10. Not too worried about snoopers. They know where we are. Air defense stations manned. Enemy raid en route to our position, 24 miles. Already 24 miles? It says 22 nautical miles. They're closer than I thought. Damn it. What aircraft reported it? Oh shit, my boys are already engaged. Okay. I guess I didn't realize they got off the deck that fast. Well, there's definitely enemy fighter escorts here because I could see one diving on that other guy. Do as much damage as you can, guys. There's zeros and everything. So we're not gonna shoot this whole raid down. We may lose all of our remaining fighters. We gotta do some damage though, even if we're not gonna see the whole sky crashing down. What are there? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 enemy aircraft here, boys. It's too early for the proximity fuse. We're not there yet. All right, one down. It lost its wing, so pretty confident that was a kill. That was a torpedo bomber too. Hell yeah, brothers. Look at all these aircraft swirling around. I love the visuals in this game. There's an aircraft crashing. Maybe we got one. Maybe we got a zero. I'm not as worried about the zeros. Like, I don't just want to ignore them completely, but we gotta whittle down this air attack. The thing about the way, especially like torpedo bombing works, if you're like a lone torpedo bomber and you're going in on an enemy ship, you're probably not going to sink the enemy ship. You're probably not even going to hit it. These ships are a lot more maneuverable, and torpedoes are a lot slower than I think people generally think. If you know where the torpedo is, the challenge is when you've got 3 torpedoes launching a spread, and then, ideally, if you've got 3 torpedoes coming in from each side, if the enemy's able to get a torpedo attack from both sides of the ship, that's when it becomes just devastating. Are you guys arguing about World War II doctrine in the chat? Okay. This is not Midway. This is Coral Sea, Jade. It is a Coral Sea variant. So Coral Sea if the Japanese had an extra carrier. And it is day 2 of Coral Sea. Technically, it's a 2-hour scenario, so it could be, or 2-day scenario. So it could be day 2 and 3. Got another. That one was a dive bomber. That was a Kate. Or Val, sorry. I love the banking and swirling through the formation. Oh, nice. Did it so we could pull up and go for another. Can you get him? You're too close. You're getting hit. Smoking. Nice. Tear him up, boys. This is my focus right now, is this air combat. This will determine our fleet's future. Enemy raid is 11 miles out. I'm surprised I don't see any of my fighters as having been shot down yet. I assumed that was... Maybe we are chewing this formation up. I swore we were fighting the zeros early on. It looked like it, but I suppose it could have just been us maneuvering through the formation on our own. But no, someone was evading, so actually this guy's evading. So if they're evading, they must be at least a few zeros around. Based on the size of this raid, I am assuming this is the Kaga air group, because we already shot down 2 similarly sized air groups that we know to have come from the Suikaku and Shokaku. It was close, guys, but I don't think mid-air collisions are in this game yet. So it looked close. I don't know if it was ever in danger. All right. I'm gonna pull up. We could, by the way, fly this, but is that a zero down there? Looks like he's diving after a zero, unless. Ah. I don't think that's a zero. I think that's his friendly. But yeah, look at this. Oh, flak. We're now in range of the ships. You can see flak puffs all over. So we are flying through flak. Guys, you gotta do it. There's still a decent chunk of enemy aircraft here. You've got to get more of these guys. Fly through the flak if you have to. I don't care. Wouldn't be the first time that friendly anti-aircraft shot at friendlies. What are we down to? It looks like there's 3, 6, maybe 8 planes. I don't know where the torpedo bombers are. They could have already dove low. I don't really know that we have a lot of planes left on deck, Super Cheese. Like a handful of F4Fs. I don't have any dive bombers, I don't think, on deck. You're not going to shoot? You're just going to circle above the flak? Guy damaged the enemy aircraft, didn't shoot it down. Another guy's streaming through the formation here. These guys are brave. Flying right through the flak. I mean, I know they're drones, but brave in my world. Nice. Another one going down. 2 going down. 3 going down. There's the task force. We're getting in real close. Lexington's targeted by torpedo attack aircraft. Let's pause for a sec. Let's go down to the Lexington. I don't see any flak at the lower level. What's this? They're still recovering aircraft. Okay, well, that's going to be a challenge. Do you have... Well, they're shooting flak off. That's Yorktown. Lexington just has 4, I assume, empty torpedo bombers on the front. There's no torpedoes on them. I still don't see any sign of an enemy low-level attack. Another enemy aircraft going down. Whatever's left of this formation isn't much. Is this it? Is this all that's left? She has a torpedo, but she didn't drop it from here. She's gonna have to dive and then swing around. Be funny to see her drop from here, though. Streaming something. Yeah, well, she's a goner. There goes the wing. Enemy aircraft shot down by the Lexington. Sure, gunners. Oh no! Hit! Right in the center of the ship. Must have been a dive bomber. I didn't see. Alright, well, Lexington's flight ops are torpedoed. Okay, so Yorktown looks fine. Lexington took a bomb hit. I think. It says light fire. That doesn't quite look light to me. Flight deck mid destroyed. Does that mean she's destroyed for the rest of the op? They can't patch that? Hangar's disabled. Here's the other problem, I think, as far as launching strikes are concerned. How many aircraft are on the, were the fighters the ones we scrambled off the Lex? So Lexington has the fighters we scrambled. Okay. Okay, so Yorktown has the bulk of the striking power. That's fine. Yeah, only a handful of aircraft left. Another enemy raid of 20 plus on the way in. Fuck! Alright, fighters, I sure hope you can head north and go engage those guys. I can't withdraw. It's 9 a.m. We can't get out of range in the next 6 hours. No miraculous teleportation skill yet. Is Yorktown still recovering aircraft? Can you guys just get your aircraft off the deck? I need to launch an airstrike. Aircraft are currently landing. Of course they are. Well, I think that's the enemy air attack. I don't think there's more coming here. These fighters, hopefully. Says they're engaging enemy aircraft. I'm assuming these guys are moving north to engage that second raid. Still 10 plus. Doesn't look like we lost anybody, so that's good. Main concern is going to be fuel. Yorktown, you need to get those aircraft aboard. I can't do anything with you until you get those aircraft aboard. Meanwhile, we need to get a visual back on this task force up this way. We have not. We have no visual there. This is a what if scenario, Jade. This is what if Kaga was at Coral Sea. All right, so wait. TF Sinting had to commence air operations. Yorktown scrambling her fighters, so we'll get 4 fresh aircraft up to also join the second attack. Hopefully they didn't burn through much of their ammo shooting down the first airstrike. I don't know if it factors in pilot skill or not. I really don't know enough about how the game handles. All right. A second wave? 20 plus? So what? Did they send their carrier wings out in 2 separate raids? It seems like a strange way to do it. We know they don't have 4 carriers, so I'm not sure what they got left here. I'm assuming it's a lot like what we saw before. What was that you were shooting at? Was that a lone torpedo bomber? It would appear a lone torpedo bomber, but there's a much larger formation over this way. Are these, all right, so 3 over here, so 4 torpedo bombers, 6 torpedo bombers, 9 torpedo bombers, and then 3, 6, 3, 6, I don't know. I lost track. Another 20 plus. 20 plus bandits. Strange to zoom by him like that. Well, there's 1-0, I'm pretty sure. Looked silver. think. I know. I wonder, I mean, I guess you beggars can't be choosers. Like, I'm not sure how often you would... Uh-oh. Evade! Evade! Thatch weave! Get your buddy over here and Thatch weave! Oh no. I'm gonna say it. You're done. You're done. All right, we got 2 aircraft that are listed as evading, so we know they've at least got some fighter escort out this way. Red Bull over here. Where are the only... Hey, there's a 0, I think. Yeah, I see the rising sun on its wings. I really don't want you guys dogfighting the zeros. I want you shooting down that incoming air raid. We can't afford to have Yorktown lose its... I'm not going to complain if you shoot down enemy fighters, but you got to actually shoot them down. That looked like a good hit. That 0 just pulled a Maverick. He's behind you now. Doing good wingman service though. You're trying to help your boy out. Oh, there's 2 zeros? Oh, you fucked. Maybe 3. All right, so it would seem these guys have completely... Well, someone's shooting someone down up here. I was gonna say, it seems like they've completely abandoned trying to go for the... There's 1 aircraft lost. We really don't have a lot of aircraft left to be losing. At least a few of these guys are still engaging the fighter groups. Yorktown's fighters are not off the deck yet. There goes the torpedo bomber. 41 miles out. Okay. Another one down. Just gotta keep whittling them down, boys. Do work. The real positive is that maybe we get a few of the enemy fighters, which makes our counterattack more feasible. I mean, if we devastate this raid like we did the first one, I don't know that they're going to have much left to hit us with in either of the carrier groups. We haven't spotted the Kaga yet, but I can't really launch anyone off the Lexington because she's damaged and the Yorktown is busy trying to get the fighters off, so there's not a lot to do there either. Got one. Good job. Oh, looks like you took a hit off one of their tail gunners. You were trying to get 2. Wow. Wow. All right, this raid's getting shot up good. But yeah, if we do shoot any of the enemy fighters down, it does bode well for the Yorktown's counterstrike. Which this is a 2-day-long scenario, and it's only 10 o'clock on the first day. So there is a scenario where we have enough planes to take out 3 enemy carriers. I don't think their flak does a lot of damage. In my previous raids, I did not feel like I was losing much. I only see one of our fighters as having ditched. Just that guy. He's in the water now. I don't know if we shot the enemy fighters down. But they don't seem to be playing a role anymore. Either the Zeros turned back or maybe we got a few of them. They obviously weren't a lot of Zeros. Yes, 2019 Midway, one of the worst war movies I've ever seen. That's unfair to Nicolas Cage's Wind Talkers. Yay, flying right through the enemy. You didn't, like, lose control, did you? Okay, we're good. Hey, our fighters are getting off the carrier. So Yorktown's additional fighters are working on coming to join the party. How far out are we? Still a ways. Enemy still has 10 plus. They must have only had like 2 or 3 fighters. I'm hoping we shot them down. By the way, you can take over these fighters. I tried the other day. Bad idea for me to do that. I can't hit shit. Lexington targeted by torpedo aircraft. Really? Where? Or is it just saying we noticed this? They're 20 miles out. Strange. Who's this guy evading? You're evading who? Oh, someone just took a... Did they really just shoot down one of my Wildcats with a tail gunner? Poor Haynes. You're gonna have to tell everybody you got shot down by a rear seater. Assuming you get out of your plane and survive. I understand they're targeting the Lexington, so that just means the air group is targeting the Lexington. Okay. Poor Haynes. Maybe you should just stay with the plane and die. You get back to the carrier and you gotta tell people you got shot down by a rear seater on a carrier bomber. Is kind of embarrassing, right? It's probably already an ace at this point. You know, I don't know if any of this counts as being an ace. This seems like the Great Mariana Turkey Shoot in 1942. I mean, obviously did not send out enough fighter escorts for their raids. That's to be sure. So here's to really hoping that if the Lexington's unrepairable, then at least the first 2 enemy carriers we targeted might be also. Because if they are able to get their air groups back, I don't know that they have much left in terms of strike aircraft, but probably fighters. The sky is full of burning aircraft. Looks like I only see 3 dots there, maybe 5 more enemy aircraft are left. Still says 10 plus. Are there 2 waves? I don't see anybody over there. Hey, there's a float plane. They got the snooper. Good job, boys. Let's pause. Let's go take a look at that. They got the snooper. The snooper. They got the snooper. Good job, boys. Bye. Jake. There is TAC view integrated, yes. Does it like change it to the weird graphical TAC view, or does it keep it like the actual 3D replay of the actual game? Because the latter would be much cooler. Air defense stations are manned. These guys are looking. Is it really just the one? Where's the other guy? Where's your lead? It is a little bit spread out, I guess, maybe. There's not much left of the raid. Doesn't mean they couldn't get a hit. I mean, it only took one bomb. I didn't even see any misses. Are they attacking Jakes? There's another Jake right down here. Well, but where's the bombers? Oh, there's one down here. Okay. I do not have a flying boat. I believe that'll be in the game eventually. He doesn't have anything below him. He's just a torpedo bomber without a torpedo. Did he drop and abandon his attack? There's the float plane going down. Got the next Jake. It's going to hinder the recon ability too. I still don't see much of an enemy formation left. Who are you evading? One aircraft? Is that all that's left of the raid? Good Lord. Someone's getting fired over this. Japan's carrier aviation arm is in trouble. Yeah, the Kate could be used for recon. All right, so Yorktown. I think all of my ships have scrambled their boys. How's Lexington doing? They put the fire out. Still has damage. Still says flight deck mid destroyed. It doesn't say Yorktown has no... Or it doesn't say Lexington can't do carrier ops, though. It doesn't say red. Is that just the elevator that was damaged? Oh, that doesn't look good, though. That's a big hole. It doesn't say I can't do flight ops off it, though. Hopefully they can at least retrieve the... Well, I'd rather the fighters transfer. I wonder if aircraft transfer in this. We don't really know the answer to that. I'm going to... I don't have current intel on where the enemy ships are. I know this carrier group is obviously retreating somewhere out this direction, but we don't... I think we need to do some search missions. So... Air search... Create a mission. I need a better... Can we do off Lexington? Do we have TBDs off of her? I think a few. Let's get a current view on where these guys are. Priority carrier. We're going to do two. We're going to do a Lexington sweep out that way. And then we're going to try to find the enemy carrier that dispatched this raid. And I'm actually going to send SBDs here because we don't know how far out they are. So we'll send these guys out here. Okay, so Lexington and Yorktown both dispatching groups. It does look like Lexington is operating. As far as I can tell, they're moving... Well, that's not Lexington. But they're turning into the wind. Did the audio just cut out? was just like, hey, you're looking at a ship from a distance, I guess. Where is the enemy strike? General quarters, general quarters. Oh, that was 5 minutes ago. Never mind. Engaging enemy task force, like, or target. But what? What are you engaging? I see nothing. A phantom aircraft. Anyway, so my fighters are all up. Our reconnaissance is going to get going here. Yeah, it looks like the strike was destroyed. That's my assumption. But it doesn't say, like, it still has them engaging, which is why I was chuckling. But it does look like the enemy airstrike was destroyed. Nothing I can see. Well, nothing on the radar either. So let's go ahead and get these reconnaissance aircraft off. Turning into the wind. So we got the dive bombers going out one direction, the torpedoes out the other. And now we'll have to wait. I'm assuming 40 aircraft is probably the bulk of the strike package that the Kaga would have had. So our reconnaissance is moving. It's heading out. And we'll see how quickly they detect something. Dive bombers went out real fast. Is Lexington still... So here's a question. We saw Yorktown's aircraft get off. Secured from general quarters a minute ago. Aircraft are landing on the Lexington, but did she get her scouts out? Yeah. Okay. They got out. Hopefully the enemy ships didn't move further than I thought and evade our search patterns, but I'm assuming we will see them shortly. It looks like we should be right about where they would have been. So we might get them on the return leg, I guess. Oh. Enemy carriers. Enemy surface ships. 2 destroyers, 2 cruisers. I'm assuming this will turn into a carrier group. Really? No carriers detected? There's no way they abandoned their carriers. Really? There's no way. It must have been like behind a cloud bank or something. We just didn't see it. But if we think the enemy doesn't have any aircraft left to send to me, I'm going to be more conservative and hold off till our aircraft are on the way back. What about the dive bombers? Where are these guys? They're way out there. Nothing detected yet. If our torpedo bombers saw carriers, they would also break their route and they would shadow them, which is what they did previously. All this does is give our dive bomber crews a little bit of a rest, which again, we don't actually know if that matters. I don't know. It's good. I know the operations were kind of planned ahead of time, but I feel like Midway doesn't make sense if Moresby is successful. What's this? One aircraft. And that might even be a friendly returning. Surface force 70 miles. Well, I do know flight ops can get shut down because we've seen that happen. I'm a little confused on why we didn't detect anything when we flew our dive bombers out there. Unidentified. This has to be the... How far out is she, though? Dear Lord. I don't think I can hit that far. Well, my dive bombers might be able to. So the dive bombers that we sent out on a scouting mission have detected an enemy fleet. Here she is. The meatball in the middle. Well, not the middle, but. Dun, 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 dun. And I was wondering when I was looking at the other carriers, is that Kaga? Is that Kaga? Pretty distinctive. Feel real dumb now. All right. What does she have as an escort? Can we see? Or what can we see? Looks like a destroyer and at least 2 cruisers. Are those the Takao class? They've got float planes on them. Those might have been the guys who launched the Jakes that we shot down. We'll see if the other guys short his Jakes. That would appear to be the case. Looks like this is the cruiser whose Jakes we shot down. Or at the very least, they're airborne. All right. So, enemy carrier task force spotted way out this way. I'd rather finish off the carriers we spotted. These guys turning north? All right, let's see when where's our other search group? They should be on their return leg soon, right? Yeah, let's wait till these guys come back. Because they'll come back right across the course of the aircraft, the initial detection that we bypassed here a minute ago. I don't think we need a third search. I think this is the carrier group. I just don't see the need, if we shot down almost all of their attack aircraft, to go off half-cocked. I'll launch on the carrier up here, but I assume my dive bomber will shadow them and hopefully not get shot down. We'll launch on Akagi when we can. But what's that? Enemy surface force 300 miles. Where? Bearing 237. Is that these guys? I mean, this is... Oh, shit. Is this the invasion force? There's a transport over here. Can we hit those guys? It's not our priority. That's the Moresby invasion force over here. Here's the carriers. All right. On the return leg, we got them. We spotted them. Well, I'm assuming we spotted them. It's still saying surface force. Is it just covered by cloud? Like, the carriers didn't sink. I don't think. I'm confused. I mean, I don't want to send dive bombers out on a mission. They're going to get shot to pieces by flak attacking cruisers. 2 destroyers and a cruiser. I'm assuming there's a carrier there, but we haven't detected it. I suppose they could be further back and like running low on, like, maybe the damage was worse than I thought it was. I'd be more inclined to go after the Akagi, though, if we can reach it. Or the troop transports, frankly. I think we would detect on this return flight if there's any carriers around here, though. You'd think you'd see something. Really? Nothing? They didn't sink. There's no way they sank. .500 nautical miles. Can we hit that range? Distance to target 240. If we do dive bombers, what's the range? I think they're out of range. I think we'd have to turn in to go get them. Fuel reserve 0%. Do we need the 100-pounders? I can get the close target, but that's just cruisers. I don't have much of a striking force left. The torpedo bombers definitely no. I suppose if we go for this target, we can definitely get it if we go for offensive power. I just don't love the idea of attacking cruisers. Our torpedo bombers also can't get there and back. Although I suppose that, can the torpedo bomber change their loadout to endurance, or is it just it's the whole raid? Okay, I guess we just won't go with the torpedo bombers then. I am going to send escorts with them too, just because we're going to do a deferred departure to get everybody out. We'll go with offensive power, deferred departure, standard time. This is off of the Yorktown. 28 dive bombers going. New strike. Lexington. Five escorts. Dear God, let's hope they don't hit us with another strike. Deferred departure. Same contact. I have a hard time believing the carriers are gone. Yeah. Eddie's wasn't an autobiography, was it? I thought Eddie's was just like him as a storyteller. I've got that at my office. The preface was stories I tell my friends, I guess, on that book. All right, boys. Okay. Can you hear me over the flight deck? Seems like overkill for some cruisers. It's less about that. It's more about I feel like I should have gone for the Akagi. Or the Kaga. I don't know why I keep saying Akagi. One aircraft? That's a returning scout plane. Kaga wasn't out of range if we did the endurance strike with the dive bombers. I don't think. I really should have done a waypoint further north. We don't need to turn south at this point. We should be charging at them, which I will do, but I don't think I can do yet until... Well, can we change course if the raid is going to come back along the course? Can we change the course mid-raid so like they can just meet us sooner? Because like if I could turn east rather than having them have to come all the way down here to meet me, I'd rather move the task force here. Or like here. Does make me nervous that they'll miss us on the return leg. I just don't know where the first two enemy carriers went. I don't think there's any way I sank them. 3 or 4 bombs, maybe one of them like got 3 or 4 bombs, but they should be burning somewhere. I should have plotted the course before launching. True. We'll find out how it goes. All right, scout planes landing. All right, so these went in 2 waves. Lexington's went first. Which is the smaller raid. But you can see them flying in relatively close formation. They do have some escorts. I guess the good thing about the weaker raid going in first is if there is any enemy cap, they'll probably busy that. I just feel like the enemy carriers have to be somewhere around there, limping around. 2+, that's a concern. Does Lexington have any fighters I can scramble? Well, she's taking on... She has 2. Oh, those are probably scouts coming back. That was unnecessary. Good call. I forgot about the torpedo bomber scouts. They're turning north, which tells me they're launching something. They're turning into the wind. Maybe they're just turning into the wind for scouts or for fighters? Or to recover aircraft, perhaps? I don't know what they have left to recover, but usually when they're turning north like that, they're turning into the wind to recover something. Probably cap.
Romeo, buggies, sector 310, 20 miles, Angels High.
Bogies 20 miles, Angels High. It's probably these guys. The initial raid's probably running into some kind of cap. Okay. By the way, thank you for the bits, D-Mad. This was 20 minutes ago. I didn't miss you. I did see. It's an enemy carrier bomber. We're going in now. right. Where? I wish it let you click on, like, who's X-ray leader? They need to do a better job of giving these strikes names that you can correlate a radio report to what's on here. Well, Morgan didn't have a good day, nor did either of those aircraft, so we lost 2 more fighters. Great. Probably an enemy fighter aircraft or something. These dive bombers are streaming toward their target. I guess they're going to be targeting a cruiser, probably. Any nation could have been... Oh, please go for them! If that's a carrier group. Unless that's just the cruisers we already... Oh. There's got to be more there. I don't believe you. I don't believe you, game. Oh, you're not turning back. Are you really? Oh, you're diving. Never mind. Here we go. Nosing over on an enemy cruiser, I suppose, is not the worst thing ever. Let's pause real quick, because we're going to see 3 bombers drop on this cruiser. Oh, there's 4. Good hit, good hit. Wow, she got straddled a bit. I saw one good bomb hit. $1,000-pounder right to the middle of the ship. Right on the funnel. I would think that would do quite a bit of damage. Everybody, I think they all bombed in sequence. So that first raid's done. Second raid should be still on the way. The splashes look great. The explosions less so. I'm annoyed that we lost our these fighters. We better hope they don't have much left. Okay. I suppose tomorrow we can always go for the Kaga if she's still around. Is there no way we really sank those 2 carriers, right? Right? Are they really turning south now? Why is it pointing toward me? Okay. Look at all these aircraft. I love when you do a coordinated strike and you've got whole formations of aircraft in the air at once. Please tell me the enemy didn't get out of your visual. Oh, you can see him there. You're down there, so you better go attack. Is that guy's rudder jammed? He's just going in circles. He doesn't look like he's in good shape. Oh shoot, we just hit someone. Something blew up over that way. Oh my god, are all these guys diving on this cruiser? This is like when you see like a swarm of insects going for something. Oh my god. But someone bombed something over that way. Maybe another cruiser. What's that Blade Runner quote at the end there? Time to die. So many bomb drops. I mean, I get he's turning, but you'd think that would make it a predictable. Everything missed. Everything. You guys suck. Actually, this is the air group that missed the carrier on the second round, too. What did you hit over this way? Oh, I want to see what's over here. Well, someone hit something, I thought. Wasn't a cruiser. Maybe some of this is fog of war dependent. Okay, well, I guess we'll see about Akagi tomorrow, maybe? So we lost 4 more aircraft. I think they were all fighters. We went from 17 to 13 at the start of this video. Maybe that heavy cruiser will get sunk. It's pretty badly damaged. I don't know. We may stream again tonight, but I will say that that is where we're going to wrap things here today. I hope you guys did enjoy this daytime stream. I've got to go take care of some parenting stuff. Let's just make sure we save that. But yeah, this is Task Force Admiral, an upcoming game by Dry Dock Dream Games and published by Microprose. Yeah, I'd say so far this battle's going pretty well for us. 1 bomb hit to the Lexington that doesn't seem to have impaired anything. And I mean, who knows? Maybe 2 enemy carriers sunk and a heavy cruiser. We'll find out. We'll try and go for Akagi tomorrow, or Kaga tomorrow. I keep saying Akagi. And we'll see what we can do. And until then, this is the Historical Gamer. Once again, saying thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'm out. Bye-bye. I know we're still live. I'm just trying to see why my mouse will not let me do anything outside the game. I guess I just got to close the game then, huh? Actually, let's see. Is there anyone we should raid on Twitch? Nah. All right. Have a good one, guys. Bye.